on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast. Are you ready to greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade? Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
Hey, welcome to the Evercast.
Hey, well, you totally threw me off with that intro.
Hey, Gene keeps creating them, so I'll keep.
Okay, that's the best intro yet.
I like that.
That's the best one yet, so we'll keep that one. Well done. Well done.
All right, everybody. So how are you all doing?
Good.
Good.
I only got one thing on my mind at the moment, but whatever.
Yeah, he's got one thing on his mind, and it's not what you think it is, or maybe it is.
It might, if you know what was announced yesterday, but it's not Evercade
You just told
related.
us.
Yeah, I told you, but nobody watching knows.
Well, that's their fault.
Who
I don't know what to tell you.
do we have in the chat? We got Joe Whitlash. I can't unsay his name. We have Nicholas Skippins. We've got Rasta. We've got Lloyd JRM. Hopefully I said his name right. The Immortal Sojourn. We have the Intellivision Gamer. And the infamous Ian Hobbies. What's up, everybody?
I don't know, man. What's going on? What's up with you?
What's up with me? Well, so yeah, there's a November update from Blaze. So I guess
What? There was a November update by Blaze?
Yeah. I mean, me and Rich talked a little bit about this on Karg, but
Oh, you guys did a Karg episode?
yes,
I
yeah.
threw it in a loop.
It's all good.
What they delayed this time?
Yeah. Well, they're saying that the alpha it'll be like between the November 28th and December 16th for both US and UK, and all that. And
Wow, that's not. So it's not even a November release now.
That's like a 3-week span.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, why did they?
Do they not know when it's
releasing stuff in the fall?
Yeah.
So you guaranteed a chunk of people will not get their stuff before Christmas. I guarantee it.
Well, when they say they're partners, they're talking about like other like Video Games Plus. They're talking about like other places. When is Funstock shipping their stuff out?
Yeah. Well, and then they say that if you're in Western or Eastern Europe, there'll be some delays due to local logistical challenges, whatever that means.
Yeah, I heard that, which was kind of weird because that would be really weird if I got my alpha before somebody in Europe.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in Canada, they're going to be delayed probably, and they'll use that because Canada Post is on strike. So.
Uh-oh. Damn.
Yeah, we haven't gotten mail for a week.
Oh crap!
Hey, you know what they say? No news is good news.
I don't know. But it just feels like they should stop doing fall releases of stuff. Get it all out the door. Plan for September, knowing that it'll probably not come out until October, November. Instead of planning for November, which means nothing comes out until January.
Right. I think we've had so many ever delays this year. It doesn't bother. But I mean, we'll see. And then they also say it's the same release window for all the new cartridges. But they do say that it says this means the final two they'll be shipped together with the November cartridge releases. So hopefully, maybe we'll get them all like earlier.
Well, in several territories, they won't get it until the new year.
Yeah, I just hope that's.
And people still haven't gotten their Evercade EXPR. Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
Well, and then July. What is happening?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that's the last thing they say: the XPR and the Tate mode grips, and we'll get those like by the end of November, maybe.
The things I could care nothing about.
Yeah, no, I didn't order an XP. No, it sucks for the people who want it. I hope that people get those things before Christmas because that would really suck for it to be that ever delayed.
Well, they just need to go to a trade show, like I said, like Castlemania Games, Songbird. They all had tons of Evercade VSs there. The Tomb Raider collections, everything.
Sweet.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the latest on that. And then this one will spark more of a conversation. I'm sure they posted this more to different social media, and I'm going to read this word for word because I don't know. I think they should have used grammar check on this. You can just they said we signed a big name people. Like, shouldn't they have said we signed a big name person, or we signed some people who are big named? I don't know. That just seems weird.
Maybe it's several people. Maybe it's a group of people, and the
Several,
organization has a big name.
Wait, what is this? I can't even read it.
So yeah, let me read it. This is from their YouTube. It says we signed a big name people have been asking for this week. Can't tell you who it is yet because annoying social media teases.
No. I understand what that says. You read it wrong. It's we signed the big name people have been asking for this week.
Oh, there should have been a comma then. So
we signed a big name, comma.
Actually,
I don't know if a comma is appropriate there.
Somebody drunk
we signed a big name people have been asking for this week.
I think somebody was drunk when they wrote this.
It makes sense to me.
No, but you need a comma, dude.
I don't think a comma belongs there.
No, we signed a big name. Period. People have been asking for this week. That would have been better.
No,
you need a comma there, or a ending like a period or exclamation mark would be the big one.
No, I think it's fine the way it's written. The punctuation's fine.
No, it's not. And then
we signed a big name. People have been asking for this week. There's no,
but you got a
comma.
Yeah, but it's not
a period.
No,
I got the message.
It sounds like they're speaking.
It's still not proper English, dude.
No, it's not, because
there's no such thing as proper English.
It is a run-on. It's almost like a run-on sentence within the first part of the sentence. It makes no sense.
Yeah. And then they said,
total sense.
Then they said, can't tell you who it is yet because annoying social media teases. They should say we can't. This sounds like this
because
is written,
of the annoying social media teases. It's purely structured.
That should be because of annoying.
That's what I mean. This is like grade 7 English right here.
But we can tell you.
Learn this stuff how to structure a sentence.
Yeah,
I know how to structure a sentence.
Yeah, and then they put, but we can tell you the first results of this partnership will show up next year. But who could it be? Feel free to speculate. Yeah, it sounds like a Karen Boomer post.
Like this, but we can't tell you the first. We can't tell you the first results of this partnership, but it will show up next year. There's got to be proper structure of a sentence.
No, there doesn't. This is fine.
Oh,
there's one missing word. I'm whatever.
Got more people trickling in. Hey, everybody, welcome, everybody. Grammargate.
It's YouTube comments, not
honestly think
properenglish.com.
I honestly think you're a contrarian. You're a contrarian.
Yes.
That I am. I am absolutely.
Yes.
You're 100% a contrarian, because that structure, when 2 out of 3 people on the poll from 2 separate countries says there's improper sentence structure and paragraph structure in there, we are right.
No, the majority is never always right.
But so I think I wish it'd be Namco, but it's not. People put
who cares? Who cares they wrote this? It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Because they say big, it could be big for European console players or whatever, right? It makes no sense. Either tell us or don't tell us. Don't tease us. No one cares. Because they said they didn't want to tease on social media, yet they just teased on social media.
Yeah, well, that is a tease on social media.
Yeah, it's
correct.
Somebody was drunk. I think Sean had 3 beers and said, "I'm gonna screw with the community right now. I'm gonna do this." Well done, Sean. Well done.
He could have. He definitely could have. But you know what? I think if this is true realistically, I think Sega would make the most sense.
They've gone insular though, because they're having structure problems in their company, right? They've restructured their entire company. I don't even know if they're ready to even sign deals right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys know that, but Sega has turned into Sega Europe, Sega Japan, right? And they're really just a different structured company now.
I was thinking more of the fact that they pulled all their retro stuff, and maybe they thought, hey, let's release these as physical collections to hype up our newer franchises later on. So that's what I was thinking.
Well, they're releasing those new rebranded games, right? We haven't heard anything about those. We haven't heard about the new Gauntlet, the new Shinobi that they teased last summer. Remember? A year and a half ago.
You know what? If they signed this big name this week, wouldn't those collections not even show up till 2026? Since all the
because they already have 2025 in the boot. Well done. There you go, girl. Back on form.
If that was the case, I think they would shift. I think they would move stuff to another year, shift it, or have it be 14 or 16 cards.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. But I just love the fact they didn't want to tease on social media, yet they teased on social media. That's Sean just taking a piss.
Yeah, they're teasing stuff that we're not even going to hear about for over a year.
Yeah, it's like, okay, move on. I love it.
At least they're saying stuff. I just think they were like way too quiet before.
Like I said, I had no idea they did either one of these stuff. So now, if they would have did it on Blue Sky, I would have got it all because that's where I live.
Yeah, I don't know if they posted it to other social media. I just saw that in passing.
Well, they said they didn't want to tease. So.
Usually, that's something that would be
buried. Maybe they don't consider the YouTube to be a social media.
Yeah, that's debatable, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just that they don't consider that to be like a social media.
The proper social media, yeah. Which community?
But it is. It's in video format, but
yeah. But the community tab is the same thing as a Twitter. You post something on community, people.
Yeah, exactly. It is totally social media, whether or not you're writing something and posting it or posting a video.
Yeah, because you're interacting with socially interested people.
It probably is some European developer that I've never heard of before.
I don't. Either way, good for them. To be honest with you, outside of their sentence structure and teasing and not teasing, I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see what they bring. I'm hoping it's more arcades stuff because just for the fact that we're getting the alpha and it's. I mean, right now, arcade is what the second most carts are arcade carts right now, right? But it's less than a quarter of this collection. I think it kind of needs
because it was they had so many bread carts out before they even started the arcade or any other.
Right now we got what 10 arcade carts, I think. Let me count.
10 or 9?
Possibly
11. I think it's 11, right?
No, no. You're right. It's 10. Sorry, I was looking at the.
Why do my list show 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1.
Oh, that's actually. Oh, that's
by the end of this month, we'll supposedly have 12.
Yeah. That's right. I was looking at the blue.
Yeah, I'm excited for some of the carts coming out. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Yes. No.
I've been playing so much of the Arcade 50 expanded edition, watching all the new documentaries. It's so good, man. That's the only company should do compilations from now on.
Digital Eclipse,
they're amazing.
They're doing it good.
Yeah, it was just the Intellivision. I don't know if Intellivision Gamer liked it, but I'm super excited now. I wish Evercade go and get the M Network games because those are really fun for the Evercade. Those would be great.
I only want that to balance out the blue cards.
Yeah, but the M Network games, dude, are really fun versions of Intellivision games. Like in a lot of ways, I find they control better than some of the Intellivision games. But
yeah, in some cases they do. Like Frogs and Flies,
Dark Caverns is better than Night Stalker.
The only one I think might be better on the Intellivision would maybe be Astro Smash.
Yeah, 100%, because Astro Blast is way too quick left and right.
The weird thing about that is you can play that with a paddle too.
Yeah,
Ooh, that'd be cool.
But it's still, it doesn't play as good. I don't think. I think it just goes.
Yeah, no, it's too fast. It's just way too fast, too twitchy. But what I love about it is the Activision guy that's there, the original founder of Activision. He's just sitting back during the documentary saying, "Yeah, we just took advantage of both of them and put games out." It was like
I need to get through. I've only gone through the Erotica one. I've only touched on the Atari 50 one. I have I haven't gotten the Tetris one yet, but I do have the Just Mentor one yet. But I haven't even
the Tetris one. I'm excited for.
I can tell you why I 100% will not buy the Tetris one.
Why did they not put one of your favorite of the 500 Tetris versions on there?
I'll tell you. Well, no, I'll tell you. No. Well, put it this way: I've seen the documentaries and the movie on HBO. There's nothing new that I could.
That movie was fantastic, by the way. Even though it was suspension of disbelief, it wasn't real, but it was fantastic.
And that's what John Hancock even said. They're not going to have the original version for Game Boy and NES, which are the two best, or the most nostalgic.
Yeah, I don't know why the Tetris Corporation didn't put, because the original Game Boy is the one that majority of people have nostalgia for. That is the game.
The Commodore 64 version of Tetris was the first version of Tetris I played.
Isn't the Commodore 64 a really true, like almost one of the really true port of the original computer version of it from Russia? Like it's
Well,
really
I don't know. I don't know about that. It's very
okay.
simple. It's
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I
just
mean
got
because the original one from Russia, like I don't know if
yeah.
that's true or
It's
not.
the original one from Russia is like ASCII characters.
Yeah, ASCII. Yeah,
And I think that's actually in that collection. So if you
yeah,
wanted to play the very first version of Tetris, that's in there. I think. I don't know what other version. I can't remember what other versions are in there.
yeah.
I don't think the Atari arcade version is in there, but that is
No,
my favorite version of
that's shit in there
Tetris.
too.
But
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the Game Boy. Like, I'm not a huge Tetris fan, but the Game Boy ones because I played that so much. Like I didn't own a Game Boy, but the jail that I was guarding at it, so I used to play it. So that's why I like that game so much.
But not only that, too, for me, playing like the digital versions, like on the Steam Deck, that's not how I want to experience nostalgia. So that's why, like from that's why from like the Game Boy
Well,
Chromatic,
get it on your
that's how I'm
Chromatic, and then you'll be happy.
That's what, yeah, I am. I am. So yeah,
Everybody send Ed's wife a note saying, "Hey, get Ed the Chromatic for Christmas."
I am. I already she pre-ordered me the GameStop version because I like
What, you can get it at GameSpot? Our GameSpot sucks. You can't get anything unless it's like modern.
Yeah. Well, that you don't have to. You get free shipping, but still though, I like that. I like the color scheme. Seem nostalgic, but yeah, no, it's interesting with those collections. Like the one thing we touched on Atari, I don't like how it's turning into like a season pass. For digital, like that really. Like I feel like we should be getting all that for free because they charge like what $45 for that collection. I don't know.
It's so worth it though. I would have paid $80
But the
for it.
Atari
The
50?
documentaries, dude. The documentaries are amazing, and you don't like those are now you own those documentaries. You don't have to search for them on YouTube or wait for them to get taken down. You
I think
own
this
them,
was
and they're
$40.
really well done.
And this is the Steelbook version.
I didn't get the Steelbook version. I just got the regular version.
Yeah.
But I'm officially 100% at this because I've played all the games, because obviously. But I've 100% at all the documentaries.
I'll wait for that to go on sale. I don't know. With me, it's just I'm more like if it's something like if it's physical games, then I'm more willing to.
Well, yeah, man. And they're all on the cart, right? There's no downloads, so
yeah.
It's really cool. I don't know. I just think Digital Eclipse is an amazing little studio, and they punch above their weight big time.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what they do next.
Yeah. I think there's so many things they could. It's hard because like there's outside of Intellivision and Atari, really they're the only ones that really have a very interesting story. ColecoVision is such a mess right now, and they didn't really own any of their IPs. It's an interesting story that it started as like a shoe company, but
well, what's interesting is now that Atari owns Intellivision, they could probably do one for the Intellivision.
yeah. I mean, that would be an interesting one, a controversial one towards the end, probably, but they would probably sell a lot of copies. But yeah, it is. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see like an Atari or television collection next year? Because Sean said that they still have that relationship with Atari.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say they can do the M Network collection for Intellivision Collection 3. And I mean, there's bangers. But how many did they create? Anybody know in chat how many M Network games are there? 20 maybe?
I don't know. It's something that I see with the network games.
Yeah. I'd really like to see the other Activision's other collections they had on the Intellivision. What are they called? iMagic ones. Those are bangers.
DF, what's funny about that? Because Rich was telling me, he was saying the reason it's that way. Well, it's cool that they do that, but because of the way the interface is set up, like they can't really sell like DLC. But yeah, it should have been. They teased us. They teased us with that, but it's all good. I'll get them at some point when they go on sale. Or it's like, or maybe they'll just sell like. Actually, that would be pretty cool. Actually, just if you could buy just the documentary. But I know that's not gonna have to experience. But no, we'll see.
Find that list
for Atari. I just want the active. I doubt we'll get it, but like just the Activision collection. If we ever get that for Atari. Then we don't need anything else. That's like if that was like the only last thing we could get for Atari, I'd be super happy. Because I think those were like all like the best like Atari games. Even though I know some people or a percentage of people would want like a Jaguar collection and all that. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind a computer collection.
I think 17, but there were 19 that were unreleased.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Get the unreleased games would be awesome.
Yeah. Or do 2 collections. We talked about that, Gene. The delay, like from the 28th through December. But no, I haven't had any shipping notifications.
Yeah,
it would be some of them are licensed. So I wonder if they would be able to get the Tron license for Tron Deadly Discs and Adventures of Tron. And then there's Masters of the Universe, and then Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, screw Kool-Aid Man. But
people still drink Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid still exists.
Yeah, Kool-Aid exists.
Yes. I only know that my daughter was like in Girl Scouts, and
I don't think he's allowed to break through walls anymore for some reason, but it still exists.
But no, I know not everybody would be happy with this, but I would just get the SNK license and then just have a year of arcades and nothing else. I don't know. Would you guys
that's not going to happen, dude.
Yeah, I know. Or just have a year of arcades. I would be happy.
Or the year of C64 releases.
Oh God. I think I'd have to boycott everything.
I'd like to see that just to see how Ed would cope.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know. It makes it for some interesting content, but yeah, I know people would like.
That's all going to be okay.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what game they choose to be like their single game for next year. That really has me excited.
What did they announce they were doing a single game release?
They didn't announce, but Sean said that he guaranteed. He said He said, well, you'll see one single game release next year. He said you'll at least see another dual indie cart. He said more indie, so possibly more. But then that's all. I think that well, other than keyboard and mouse support, I think they need to release like a C64 like VS with like 10 or 20 built-in games for the licenses that they couldn't get, or like an Amiga or something. Because a lot of people would buy that. Like I wouldn't, but I know a lot of people would, and it would make Blaze a lot of money. And I think that would sell it faster than the Duke Nukem console. I think. I mean, there is a big like Duke. Luckily, that won't happen. Nanuka? The hell is Nanuka?
I saw that, and I was thinking what I thought of was Nanuka Crash, but I don't know if that's what he's referring to. A Flash game, Nanuka Crash. I'd like to see that, but that's just me. Nobody else probably knows what I'm talking about.
And they don't care. No, I'm kidding. Well, that'd be mean. No, I don't want to see any Flash. I don't want to see any Flash games.
Convert it.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has seen any emails or anything from Funstock for Evercade stuff yet.
I got one for the socks, and because I wanted to buy I had to get something to get free shipping, so because I wanted the marquees, because I ordered the base game, the base alpha, so I wanted the full 6 marquees for the Mega Man set, because I got the base, and you only get 3 with the base, so I ordered that. So I got shipping notifications that's coming.
Jesus,
but I won't get it because they got to go through Canada Post. So
isn't that like 30? I don't know. It was expensive for what. We'll have to see what the quality of the marquees are.
I don't care.
I think I would just print. I would get them printed.
I got no time for that. What kind of time do you have to do all that kind of stuff?
No, I'm just saying if I could, because you could put in your own marquee. Well, that's part of the
printer. I got to go buy a printer. Then I got to find the time to do it. That's boring. I got a life to live, man. I'm not doing that shit.
What do you guys think that Retro Games released the Spectrum Mini?
I don't want any Spectrum games for the Evercade because Spectrum is a horrible gaming console. Sorry.
I mean, my only experience with Spectrum games were the few games I played on the Rare Replay that was on the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I don't think I know really much about it. I've seen other videos people have made. I'm not really that interested in it, but if they release it.
Graphics are gross too. Like I mean, it's old computer game system.
It was like a really cheap budget computer.
Yes,
in Europe at the time,
and it had
and that's why it was. And that's why it was so popular, because it was very affordable for anybody.
Yeah, it was like $200 or something. That was the whole reason, right? There's a documentary about that. The guy from Spectrum, and it's a fascinating thing. So what he did a lot of great stuff. I think he started with calculators and and all that kind of stuff originally in the 70s and turned into the computer. But
now we technically did get the Spectrum over here, except it was called the Timex something.
yeah,
or
you
other.
guys didn't do well, right?
And I never even heard of it. I mean, I've never even seen one, and on all the shows I've ever been to, I've never even seen one. So I don't think it did very well.
Yeah, I did a lot of like there's a a channel out there that I follow that does Spectrum stuff, and like I mean I've seen the Spectrum because they released a newer version of the Spectrum, right?
The Spectrum Nex. Is
Yeah,
that
the
what you're talking
Spectrum
about?
Next and that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that either, but I know about it.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, hey, if they release it, hopefully some good games on it, and
Yeah.
give it a try as always.
More Amiga, yeah, but the indie, yes, like indie. Oh, Lisa says she would love Spectrum. I don't know. I guess I'd welcome the variety since we're never going to get DOS games, just to have something different. We never say never, but
yeah, never say never. I could see some DOS if they could get DOS emulation. I could see some like maybe Commander Keen, Jungle. Well, obviously, if we could get like Doom or something, Duke Nukem. Well, we got the Duke Nukem games. That's not DOS emulation though. That's
no, the remaster.
Yeah, that was. What else? I can't remember now. Commander Keen. I was gonna say Space Quest, but I don't know if point and click adventures would work very well without mouse support. Yeah, there's so many DOS games out there. A lot. They were making DOS games up until about 95.
Hey, home computer heroes too. Yeah, I just for the computer collections, I don't necessarily care what systems they are. I just want to see more homebrew because I think but I don't know if we'll see. Gapper.
Gapper. Yeah, there's so many DOS games. I like even some of the semi-popular ones. Maybe a lot of people haven't even heard of. I've never heard of Gapper either, but I know Commander Keen is probably up there. It's probably one people have heard about a lot.
Yeah.
Jungle, I think, is on the border. I only know about it because I've played it. But I do hear it come up from time to time.
So Amber has a question for you. She says, "You're around my age, I think. Her, do you remember the popularity of Commodore 64 in the early 80s?"
Everybody I knew had one. Me and my friends used to trade discs at school.
Do you think it was a really popular? She's only saying that because I swear to God, like I never heard of it until
I don't know. Like if you, I don't know. Maybe it was just the region you're in, but here in like my area, it was a very popular computer. Also, the Atari 8-bit computers were pretty popular as well. But the Commodore 64 was way more popular than that. But yeah, a lot of people had Commodore 64s. Used to, again, trade games, and like the game Mail Order Monsters, we used to make our own discs of the monsters and then trade them with our friends or whatever, fight against their monsters,
I think definitely you said like regionally, because like once Nintendo came out, like nobody even where I grew up even cared about Atari. So like I didn't even care about Atari. Then I was like, Nintendo, this is awesome.
Oh no, I was all Atari, Coleco, and television. And then Commodore 64, one of my friends had a Commodore 64, and I can remember going to his house, and the games looked good, but I'm like, it takes forever to play the game. You got to load it, and I just like...
Okay, here's the thing.
I couldn't deal with that at like 8 years old, 7 years old.
Okay, well, when you're coming from me, like the first computer we had was the Atari 400, and we were loading the games from either cartridge or cassette. And then we got the Commodore 64, and we had a disk drive with it. And again, we could load games from cartridge, but the disk drive was a hell of a lot faster than loading games from cassette tape.
Yeah, but anyway.
That would have got me interested as a kid. Not gonna lie. Yeah, see, okay, the Bay, San Francisco Bay. Yeah, so I think it's definitely a regional, kind of depending on where you lived. And like, I grew up in Iowa. We were lucky to have like an we had like cows and like farm animals. No, but seriously though, I think definitely it's a regional thing, because like I think maybe I saw like TurboGrafx 16 like once, like in Iowa City. So yeah, it really just depends on where you were and like and all that.
I still would think that more areas were familiar with the computers than not, because I would just assume that like in the 80s, you would have known somebody with either a Commodore or an Atari computer.
Yeah. Like my cousin had. See, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was all DOS. I don't think it had an Amiga 64. But he was always upgrading it, getting different drives. Like when CD-ROMs first came out, like he definitely.
I think the Commodore 64 came out in what, 1982? Commodore 64. I think it was 82. So it's been around. It was around for quite some time.
No, TurboGrafx 16 and like Neo Geo were those systems that we always saw like in the back of magazines that we wanted. And we're like, could we trade everything in to like send it?
Yeah, I always saw the TurboGrafx stuff in magazines, and I never knew anybody that had one or even saw one in stores.
Yeah.
The only place I knew of that would sell them, I think, was Toys R Us, but we didn't have a Toys R Us by us.
Gotcha. But yeah,
August 1982 was Commodore 64 release.
Or like, God, this will date my age, but back then too, it's like you could have a Nintendo in your room, but it's on a black and white TV. Like if there was like a spare TV. God, that's crazy to think that was such a thing. Black and white TVs.
It's not that crazy to think of. I mean, black and white.
I had a black and white TV. That was the first time I played Atari on black and white TV.
Yeah, that's why it had a black and white switch.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because when the Atari was released, the 2600 or VCS, black and white TVs were still pretty common.
Yep. Yeah. But also like Nintendo and stuff. Like if there wasn't any other
young kids,
spare TV in the house.
You don't know the origin of gaming. That's beauty. That's why I love gaming so much. I was there right at the beginning. I remember as a kid, right at the beginning.
See, what's interesting?
My earliest memories are playing Pong with my uncle. The actual Pong device with the paddles you actually played in. It was connected directly.
The very first game I remember, I couldn't remember for a long time, and I saw it on eBay, and I've been trying to get one, but for a decent price. It was by Coleco, and it was like the tank game from Coleco.
Oh, yeah.
That was the very first one I remember.
Just wait another 10 years. You'll get it cheap because everybody who wants it is probably going to be passed on.
No, I think it's like the people that are selling it, nobody wants it. The people keep relisting it, but they keep relisting it for outrageous prices that nobody wants to buy.
They don't want to sell it. That's why.
Yeah. Well,
and I actually did win one for $20, and they just never sent it to me. I have to get my money back.
No, like I think when I grew up too, like DOS, like IBM PCs were like very expensive and like uncommon, and I think because of my dad's job, like he had one at home, and so that's why like I played like Frogger and the Robotron on that were like my first memories, and then 2600. So I think that's the other reason why I kind of like skipped, because like not everyone had access obviously to the better computers. Even the first Macs were interesting. I don't know, just me. I just gravitated. There was something about consoles that I gravitated for. You put in the disc, you play the game, you've got the controllers, you're in control. I don't know. Like,
it'd be interesting though too. It's like Apple IIe games, because I remember when I was in grade school, the computer lab had Apple IIes in them, so we all played Apple IIe stuff.
We had an Apple IIe in high school.
That's what's it like. Like I'm sure you all probably played the hell out of like Load Runner, although I wouldn't want that on an Evercade cart.
My favorite game playing in high school was on we had a PC Junior in high school. And I used to play Snoopy's Math and Snoopy games. They were awesome.
I've never been any good at Load Runner. I haven't played a whole lot, but I wouldn't mind seeing that on Evercade, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Evercade, right? You get so many different games you're not expecting. You get a lot of common games that everybody has nostalgia for, but there's a lot of obscure games too, right? So,
yeah, TG60, yeah, one of those. All I'm saying is after 4 or 5 years, give us TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah.
That would excite me. But...
I'll take the Bonk games. I'll take all the 3 Bonk games. Bonk, I still think, is an underrated mascot.
Yeah, you know what? I'm shocked that he never wound up in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Muscling everybody out. and all that. Yeah, we'll see.
Arizona.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool game. But yeah, so I want probably it'll be like Radio Silence until January maybe, or February for Blaze. before we get a tease of their next.
Hopefully,
cards.
they'll speak up when my things are shipping.
Yeah. No, that'll be exciting. It sounds like though that in the United States we may be getting stuff before people in the UK.
Freaking Americans.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, especially with the Evercade Alpha. I know that the deluxe version, I don't know if this is the case. I think it is the case with the other version too, but they're shipping it from within the US. From front stock. So it'd be interesting to see if I got mine before like anybody in Europe, if they're having problems.
So okay, I found this interesting, right? You go to Blaze's site. Let's say you want to buy it and you go to resellers. Okay. So you go here and it's gonna default to the UK, right? But notice if I go down to United States, guess who's listed last? Really? In my opinion, they're the best
Brits hate
reseller.
Canada, man. That's the way it is.
Who's Rondo Products?
That's my company.
Is it? Are you real?
It's my Rondo.
Never heard of that. You're not going to order from there unless it's a special edition because the shipping, whatever. I don't know how reliable Best Buy is.
That's not the case because like because they're shipping that Evercade Deluxe in the US, the shipping isn't crazy for it.
Oh,
so if they're gonna have the distribution like that in the future, then shipping to the US might not be that bad. And besides, don't you get free shipping for spending a certain amount anyway?
It depends, but I can't believe Amazon is first. The worst reseller, the most unreliable reseller, they have listed first, and I don't get that.
But they're probably first because they're the biggest.
Oh, it's alphabetical order. That's why. But
put VGA.
Yeah, put VGA.
That's probably that would make more sense.
Yeah, it's alphabetical order. But I was like, VGP is listed.
But I could say that. To me, this could be an order of size. Except for VGP being less, because I think they're bigger than Songbird and Funstock. But
yeah, they also have a real storefront too. I don't think Songbird does, no, nothing against Songbird. It's just like with VGP with their free shipping, like you can't beat that.
Well, they have a shop, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I was like Amazon first, alphabetical order. I was just like, really? At least though they made it easier because like in the beginning I'm talking going back 4 years ago, there was just like one link and they had these different resellers. And you're like, how the hell do I buy it in the United States?
Oh, it's Castlemania Games? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Thank you, RMGB TV. I didn't know that either. Yes, Legendary Axe. Yeah, I don't know. I really want TurboGrafx because there's like nostalgia for being the system that was like just out of reach. Same with Neo Geo. But I want to know who that new people that they got. I actually need to screenshot that before they go back and correct it. Who is that new?
Corrected? It doesn't need to be corrected. It makes total sense to me.
I'm like, you probably don't have to communicate too much with customers at your job. Hope your eyes are doing well. Oh my God, Crow. Funny.
It makes sense. We have something people have been asking for. It makes sense to me.
It's the drunken Karen post. But yeah, no. I guess the other thing I thought about, and it'll depend, like when Evercade 2 ever comes out. Like, I don't know if I'll be buying both versions, especially like if they come out. It just depends, right? Like if there's.
I mean, are you already assuming that not only there's going to be another Evercade, but there's going to be 2 versions of it?
Yeah. Yes, because put it this way, I don't think they're going to do a handheld version with HDMI out again. That would be nice, but I don't think they're going to do do that because they want you to buy.
I think you're jumping the gun too much.
They want you to buy both.
That there's going to be 2 versions of it.
I don't think they would just get rid of their handheld line, and I don't think they would just get rid of their like their console line, unless they do the Nintendo route and they have like a docking station, which I think would be awesome if they were to do that. The developers, I don't know. No, I really hope next year. Like, I don't want new hardware really doesn't excite me at all, because it's just like, and I said this, it's just like now another expense, or I should say, Evercade new hardware doesn't excite me, because I'm like, listen, I just need something to play the carts, right? Like we still need to explore the 8 to 16-bit era, but I don't see that happening for a while, especially because like the price of electronics may be going up next year, so we'll just have to see. Miss anything in the chat? The GG16 Mini. That was short. That was short-lived. The new developer is what? Magnetic Scrolls, a text adventure. Actually, you know what's funny, Gene? Like, I know you jokingly say that, but that could actually be, if they had like a keyboard, that could actually be fun. You know, you actually just have to like type a little bit tedious. I wonder if Blaze would do that, a text adventure, but you couldn't play it on. No, you could play it on the handheld with the virtual keyboard. That would be tedious. More colors, yeah. Like I want them. Like believe me, I want them to milk and redo like skins of like the EXP and the VS. Do that ad nauseum, because people want that. Yeah, no more.
Wait a minute, I thought you said you didn't want like more hardware, but you're saying you want to see more colors. Is it because you want to buy more colors?
I don't want to, like, put it this way. I don't want to have new hardware that I'm forced to buy to still be able to play games in the Evercade ecosystem. That's more what you know what I mean? That's kind of more what it is. Like, technically, if somebody loves their original, like, white or purple, like, and they don't need to buy another one, and they can do everything, like that.
Even though I don't know why you're talking about new hardware and new colors, to be honest.
Because it's an easy, Lisa had a good point, because it's an easy way for Blaze to make money, and they don't have to do like any R&D.
Why do you care about them making money?
They make tons of money. They've sold 1 million carts. 1 million times $20 is 20 million. They've recouped probably 30-40% of that.
I assume they probably get like half. Maybe they get like half of that with all like the licensing and production costs, or maybe less, maybe 5 million. I don't know.
That's what I said. They get 30%.
Which still like that. That's still. I mean, it's good for a small company, but that's still.
I mean, I do think that people are going to be buying multiple colors of Evercades, or
no more.
Because, like, seriously, like, do you think that there's somebody out there being like, "Oh, they released a yellow version. I'm finally going to buy an Evercade now because I was waiting for it to come in yellow."
Well, dude, they sold that limited edition purple, and that's what I mean. If they do like 1,000,
yes, okay, but that was a limited edition, and then you've got people's fear of missing out. So I think a lot of people that bought that purple one already had an Evercade. But if they were to come out and be like, okay, now we got a purple and a yellow and a red and all these other colors, how many people are going to go out there and buy more? Like, oh, I got to have all the colors.
I don't think that. I think they need to make it theme based. Like they need to tie it to like a game, and then I think you're good if they do that. Like Legacy of Kain edition or something. Curl, I have 8 switches. Well, there you go. There you go. There are some people that.
I have 1 switch, and that might be one too many at this point.
I wouldn't disagree with that statement, but might buy another limited edition VS. Yeah, like the Duke Nukem, not like they could even do a different Duke Nukem themed one, and it would sell out. All I'm just saying is if they need to make up that revenue, do it through Super Pockets and do it through that, and then that'll be fine, because that's something that's not an interest to me, but it's a big interest to other people, and then it makes Blaze money, and then I don't feel like I'm forced to this is good. With Indie Heroes, yes, being a bit underwhelming this year, does anyone think they will put some exciting games there for bonus? Like the previous, or the special edition of the previous game? I don't know.
Or just special editions? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if people will be too happy if they re-released a car, except now it's a special edition. What would make it special?
I think previous games. Kind of like they did, with the alien cat. Yeah, I think it would just depend if it's like a major.
Well, that was a bit different because that was just one game that was in that collection that we had already seen before. They did that with another game too. I think it might even been in that collection, but that wasn't the whole point of the collection. Now, if they came out with like oh, this is Indie Heroes 1 remastered, and it's just like upgraded versions of all the games that were already in Indie Heroes 1. And I don't know how many people would be too happy about that.
True. Yeah, that's what like Gene's saying. He said, he said maybe a few, but it would, a few would be fine, but I don't think it'd be amazing. I'd rather see just like different. I'd rather just see like different games. And that's the thing. How come we only get one Indie Heroes collection a year? I guess because they have that, so we get like a free game of the month because they time it in with that.
Well, you know what? You say Indie Heroes, but to me, there were more Indie releases other than Indie Heroes, because all those dual carts that we had at the one time, each one of those games was an indie game. So when we're looking at this year, what did we have? There was Indie Heroes 3. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Indie Heroes 3 and the dual cart, that we're getting hopefully soon.
That's in December. That's not till December. That's like the last release of the year.
Yeah. There wasn't like a Morph Cat collection or something different like that. That was pretty neat. That is interesting. Maybe interesting to see what happens with Duke Nukem, since Take-Two bought Gearbox, could go legacy, or maybe just open the door.
It kind of depends on whatever contract that they had signed when they did that. Maybe they only had the ability to make cartridges for a certain amount of time anyway. And when they say the cart goes legacy, all it really means is that they're not making any more carts.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all that means.
Yeah, but that's kind of a big deal, though, on a system that just has carts.
It's collector friendly.
But that's no different than any other platform that takes physical media. They have to stop printing it sometime.
Exactly.
They do, but I think it was a little bit of a shock because, like growing up, like Nintendo, like, yes, maybe eventually like their black box carts would be more difficult to find, but you could always pretty much get like any game that you wanted for any console growing up. Unless
I would disagree with that.
Really?
Not every store sold every game. So in your area, if you wanted a certain game, and it was like maybe a hard to find game, maybe you just could never even find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna say maybe it's just. I assume that like growing up, a lot of us had like different friends, and you had like I always had a network of friends that I could just like get. That I could get whatever. Like that's what like for Super Nintendo and Nintendo, there wasn't a game that probably, unless it was something obscure or like later in the 90s that I hadn't played, hadn't owned, or didn't have access to go ahead and play, unless it was just something kind of mid. Genesis sort of like in between, but especially like Nintendo. Did anyone think Sean might have been hinting Indie Heroes is done for now?
I don't know. I don't think you can ever say that's done, because there's always indie games being created.
Yeah,
so there's always more new stock coming. So I think if anything, that's just always guaranteed source games for them, right?
Games of the month are just games that we're going to see in a future Indie Heroes collection.
Exactly. So. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he hinted at that. I mean, that'd be silly if they stopped doing that, because that's probably some of the most popular stuff they put on there for a segment like us. I mean,
and it's the easiest license
to get like a Tomb Raider, a Legacy of Kain, and a Duke all the time either, right? Those are more like yearly events.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's the easiest license to get developed. Like, do developers want their games out there? Oh my God, Rigatoni! See him and
I have no idea. Maybe they are giving up on indie games. Who knows? Maybe it's too expensive for them to license. So Gene could have a good point. Because I guess licensing is probably a little bit more expensive for newer indie games.
I wouldn't know anything what's going on behind the scenes.
I knew no stuff, but not that stuff.
Not even enough to speculate.
Yes, don't speculate. God forbid.
Oh, you know what? That Rigatoni brings up a good point. When we were younger, we didn't necessarily know what all games are out there. Yeah, it's true.
Exactly.
Told us. Yeah.
But the way I was looking at it, like, maybe you read about a game in a magazine, and then you went out to look for that game, and you couldn't find it. Just because the stores that you went to decided not to, stock up in that specific game. I mean, it may not be so much the case for something like like Nintendo games are a really popular system with really like a lot of games or whatever, but like the third party titles for sure, like the ones that use like the Tenjin carts or like even like the Color Dream ones. Where would you go? What if, for example, you wanted a Color Dreams game? Where would you even go to get that?
I mean, for the most part, usually most of those games are like inferior anyways. You know?
Yeah, but still, you heard
never
like
heard
what if you heard about the game and you wanted it?
So
like,
so I can tell you because like my grandparents, like they lived on the East Coast. So like Super Mario Brothers 3, like for my birth, when I kept, like I entrusted them to get it. I would go out there once a year. Iowa City, other, that's what I wouldn't like if a like Electronic Boutique, like at the malls,
but
like
still, like Mario 3 is not the really great example to use in this because like everybody knew about that game before it even came out.
But it was one of those games that was going to sell out. That like you needed.
Yeah, they knew that. And they knew that it was. Everybody knew that game was going to sell well, and everybody stocked it. So it's not like you couldn't find that game.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, if like when you're a teen and you have like no responsibilities and like disposable income and you're highly motivated, yes, like that's and I was. Well, like your life is video games, and it's like, yeah, dude, I will go to the ends of the earth if it's something that I really want.
But honestly, I think most of us would just go to the store and see what they had at the store, and they wouldn't necessarily. And the titles that they didn't carry were the titles you just didn't know about.
Yeah, or like magazines, right? Like Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Yeah, unless you read about it in a magazine and you like, I want that game, and you couldn't find it. Your only other option was maybe to get it through mail order.
Yeah. But that was kind of part of the fun too, to see what they had and all that. Or then like to me too, like I'm sure, like I don't know if y'all had like that one like spoiled rich friend who would just get like bored of games like really quickly. It's like, yeah, I'll sell this to you cheap. Like they didn't have to buy it. I'm like, yes, I'll take it or I'll trade for it. That's like another way. I'm like, dude, you're already bored of like Zelda 3, or be like, hey, can I just borrow that? Just kind of depending. Love to see Taito. Oh my god, dude! If we could get a physical collection of Taito, that would be great.
The Darius games would be interesting because they wouldn't play well in Tate mode at all because because a lot of those games are ultra wide screens. Some of them triple screens going across.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Like they need a well-deserved break. But I hope they already have like videos in the can that they can just release. Oh yeah, Toys R Us, Electronic Boutique. What the hell else? Oh, God, I'm trying to think what else is there.
Electronics Boutique for us was Babbage's. So I used to love Babbage's because they had videos, like monitors in front of the store at the mall. I used to just sit there and watch videos of the games that they had in stock. Just watching, oh, that looks like a cool game.
Dude, Gene, I really feel that really sucks because like super big into RPGs. Like when you're a kid with unlimited time on your hands. No, Secret of Mint. Usually that would be like, okay, that's my birthday or that's my Christmas present. Like those games, I didn't like back then. I didn't care. They were $60, $70. Like those were worth it to me for full retail or whatever. But yeah, it is cool to see how different regions had different games, and even now, like you see, like with getting stuff on the secondary market, depending on where you're getting them from, they could be more popular or not. Kmart, yeah, where was we really have? You know what? So Gene, here's what's hilarious about that, and where I rip my remaining hair out, is that like somebody okay, so let's say that was a thing. 3 people, maybe 2 people will be like, hey, when are they going to come out with a fix for it? And then Blaze will put a priority on making that work for the Super Pocket, because the Super Pocket is the new, which drives me, they'll put priority on something that's going to have a bad experience.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I don't think they would do that. If they were going to put a Darius game on the Super Pocket, they would do a port of a game like that, that actually used that aspect ratio.
No, dude, they totally would do it, because in my opinion, they've done that, like Operation Wolf. They put games that aren't an enjoyable experience on there because
I never. It's funny, as I knew that would not play good. So much, in fact, that I never even booted the game up.
But I had to.
Why would I play this on the Super Pocket? I never bothered booting it.
Actually, I haven't booted up the Super Pocket like in a long time. Sadly, it gathers dust. But I had to at least check. I had to at least check like one of them. I had to at least like check one of them out. Toys R Us had the Jaguar display 30 years later. Oh, you own the Jaguar? Damn! Like you actually own
you know
like
what? Now that I think about it, there was only one store that I knew of that carried Jaguar stuff. But since we didn't really have a Toys R Us by us, and that was Media Play. Media Play had Jaguar stuff. That's where I played the Jaguar for the first time. They also had CDI.
CDI. Oh, that's funny.
They had CDI stuff, and that was the first time I actually saw those Legend of Zelda games on the CDI. They were advertising them there.
I think there were commercials where I remember seeing, but yeah, it's not the Zelda. So there's a Master System port of Darius called Sagagaya, or however the hell you say that. Okay, so they could do
Sagaya?
Sagaya. They could do that. But yeah, at least the good thing is I hope, at least for me, I wouldn't mind getting the next 4 cards all at once. Have that.
Yes, the Jaguar had Tempest 2000, which is probably arguably a really good game for that. Also, people liked Alien versus Predator. But other than that...
Yeah, it's not that great. I own that.
Yeah, it's not a great game, but people really will defend that game tooth and nail. Everything else on the Jaguar, I think, is garbage.
But yeah, no, Alien versus Predator. I'm sure, like back in the day with the movies and everything, like that probably was awesome. That probably would have been like a really great, experience.
Well, it was an interesting concept for a first-person shooter where you get to play one of 3 different factions in the game with all different abilities. Like you could play as the Marine or the Predator or the Alien, and depending on who you picked, depended on how you played the game.
I played. There was like a PC version of that, like early 2000s. That was really cool, where you could do that.
I mean, I played actually Alien versus Predator in the Media Play that they had a Jaguar set up, and that's where I played it. It was kind of interesting, but really not my thing because, but whatever. So for me, when I had a Jaguar, the only game that I had that I liked on it was Tempest 2000. They had Doom. They had a really good port of Doom, though, too.
Yes, Alien vs. Predator 2000 on PC. Yes. Yeah. No, exactly. It sounds like that was like an improved upon version of that. Doom 3D.
Rayman. Oh yeah, they did have Rayman, but I wasn't a big fan of Rayman. Raiden was a good game, but it was a good game on any platform, so it wasn't really unique to the Jaguar. Wolfenstein Seed 3D, I forgot entirely that was on there. Zultool, I don't know if it's anything like that Zool we got on the Evercade collection. I wouldn't want that. It's like, I made it to the end. Oh, you didn't collect enough stuff. What? Come on.
Yeah. No, listen, you all know my stance on I don't know. Especially like first-person shooters, like they were designed on PC. They played best on PC. I won't say they were only meant to be played on PC because
I would say that is the case, but honestly, like something Doom where you don't have to look up or down, I'm fine with on a console as well. Like
Doom
I had the place.
Doom 64 I had good. If you,
I haven't played that one, but I had the Doom on the PlayStation, and I really liked that version.
Yeah. We're playing Doom 64 on a PS4. Like that actually played really well. And they did some enhancements, like you can actually save your game, and it's a completely different Doom. And
but you could get that on PC. And
I know.
So, which version do you think plays better?
But that actually played pretty well with the controller. But no, I wouldn't mind like an ID collection or anything else. That would be pretty cool. I think does ID own Wolfenstein, own Doom?
ID? id?
Yeah. id? Yeah. id.
You're in Texas, man. That's a Texas company. id Software.
id Software, yeah. Yeah, I should know. Yeah, it is weird. Like, it's like at some point they need to have a Doom collection because like Doom runs on anything. So just like,
Yeah,
just for
that'd
that.
be cool.
Or it'd be like, no, we already have Doom. The 3DO version of Doom is a great. Huh.
Yeah, the 3DO version.
The
I've heard
SNES version of Doom.
God. Zool 2s. No, we'll probably get Gremlin Collection 3, and that'll be on there.
I'm forgetting the joke. Why are you saying Gremlin Collection 3?
Because I think it was on Evercast. Because Gene said that he's like, no, they'll be coming out with kind of just like I don't know, just kind of like as a joke, or like they're actually going to come out with a 2 or 3, or kind of like it's so bad or important they skip 2. I don't know. He just kind of, I'm pretty sure they just said that one day.
Kind of like how there's no Leisure Suit Larry 4.
Yeah. Or like some buildings, you don't go to the 13th floor. I don't know, that kind of like it skips that, maybe that kind of thing.
But come on, if you're on the 14th floor, you know what floor you're really on.
30, dude, some of the better 32X games would be nice. But
okay, what is a better 32X game? Like, what is a must-have 32X game?
I think there's a few. Like, I think there's like a Sonic. There's only
Sonic and Knuckles, but I don't know that nobody really says that that's a really good Sonic game. Or no, sorry, it's not Sonic and Knuckles. It's Knuckles Chaotic. Knuckles Chaotic is it. But that's kind of a weird game because you control like 2 characters that are holding rings together for some reason. They're like tethered together.
Yeah.
Oh, Colibri was a really interesting game, but I don't think it's like it's a shoot 'em up, and it's like you play as a hummingbird. And other than the fact that it's a really unique game, I don't think it's like an outstanding game, but it's just really unique.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, I'm sure they'll
Star Wars, maybe. Yeah,
Star Wars Arcade.
That's right. Star Wars Arcade is that might be the Virtual Racing Deluxe. Okay, yeah, that could be a good one on Sega 32X. Star Wars and Virtual Racing are what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know how much different the 32X version. I can't remember. There's like 1 or 2 other games that if I felt like googling a list. But yeah, licensing, dude, licensing. I'm surprised we already don't have a Gremlin computer collection, to be honest.
That would just break you.
Well,
it would be Amiga games, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, most likely. I would still break Ed, though.
Especially like if there still isn't any keyboard and mouse support like for that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm at my time limit. I've got to go. Family time, but I'll talk to you guys all next week. Bye, chat.
We'll see you, Pete. No, I think we'll be wrapping up here.
Bye, everyone.
Sure. So Rich, did we know Rich was not showing up this week, or was
he said because he had to be in an undisclosed location. I don't know if it was like either family or business. He said he might pop in.
That's almost every week, though. He might pop in.
True. Yeah. True. But yeah, no, we'll have to wrap things up shortly because I'll have to eat and stuff. But what else? But yeah, hold on a second. Oh my God! I actually bust out the keyboard. I know. So you get 32X games list. I know. Like I'm missing.
Yeah, there's a handful. I'm not bothering to look it up, and I know there's the Spider-Man Web of Fire, which is like the rarest one, maybe. At least.
Stuff like Afterburner Complete. Oh, like Blackthorn.
Yeah, but Blackthorn, it's not.
You can play that.
You can get on Super Nintendo, and I don't think you're getting much by playing more playing the 32X version over any other version.
Oh, there were like some of those super. I guess there was a Night Trap, and it requires a Sega CD, so it's kind of like.
Yes, actually, what's funny is I had that at one point. Also, Scottie Pippen's Shut Up and Jam. There's the 32X game we need on the Evercade. Scottie Pippen's Shut Up and Jam. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't the game. Scottie Pippen's Slam City. That's what it was called.
Oh, they did it. Okay, they did a Star Wars arcade port for 32X. I did not know that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when it was mentioned that they
Primal
did have
Rage,
that.
but I've heard that, so that's not a
Yeah,
good
Primal
port.
Rage was on everything.
Yeah, maybe it's just like Afterburner. Okay, yeah, there They really are. Oh, Space Harrier. Yes, that was the other one. Like that's
still
supposed to be
Space Harrier.
yeah, like a better where they're like where it like runs more than just like at 15 frames per second. So yeah,
But seriously, like okay, we're talking about a game now. Like when you're talking like Afterburner or Space Harrier, give us the arcade versions.
I know. Just yeah, I know.
I'm not. I've never been any good at Night Trap. I just like the fact that game exists and it bothers people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, believe me that like that and like Mortal Kombat did its job to get like a rating system so that way. Although it is kind of ridiculous that nowadays you like some games like you still do have to be like 18 to buy. Like I didn't realize that was like still a thing. I was like, really? They have to like check.
Wait, is some yeah? I guess at big box stores they'd be like, "Oh, are you over 18?" And they
yes, it wasn't until like months ago when I was with my daughter and her boyfriend, and I forget what it was that he wanted to buy, and I just like had to show my license or whatever.
But to be honest, it's just such a long time since I bought a game in a store that I never even considered that to be a thing.
Yeah, and now it's just like I know a lot of stores like your Targets and Walmarts are like gutted. Like there's like a mini Switch section, and then seems like a couple of like PlayStation 4 games. I only liked it just to find like some deal. Like if there's like a $5 or $10 game. Oh, Sega CD, yes, definitely. Yeah, there's a crap ton they could pick from that.
Yeah, they got to put Wirehead on Evercade. Wirehead.
I hadn't heard of that. But yeah, Sega CD. We'll just have to see. But I'm like, Sega, you got nothing else going on? No, I don't know. But they have their re-releases. But I think that would be good. Sewer Shark, yeah. Lords of Thunder, yes. No, dude, I love, and I often play that on stream.
Oh, don't do the Sega CD version of that. Do the TurboGrafx version of Lords of Thunder.
I actually like the Sega CD version a little bit better. It just it just edges it out like on the music, and like when you go to the shop and you buy your items, like the lady she goes, "How can I help you?" Like I know it's like a very minor touch, but they made it more like arcade.
Do a dual cart, TurboGrafx 16, Gates of Thunder, Lords of Thunder.
Ooh, sold. Oh, yeah, that's a joke. Yeah, just watch Crow's video, and you don't need to buy it.
Yeah, the GBA version of Night Trap. That would be funny if they put out an Evercade, because you can't actually play that. It's just a video.
Dude, it was all. I think people forget like Resident Evil 1, like that had like very extremely cringy acting. I mean, that's like part of it. Like a lot of that stuff is like early cringy.
Well, then there was Fahrenheit too. I think it was just called Fahrenheit with the firefighters.
Yeah,
and that was a Sega CD /32X game. You could play it on either just the stock Genesis with the Sega CD, or you could add the 32X and play an upgraded version of that with the same discs.
Yeah, cool. No, and the other game my friend had, I think it was like on maybe like 10 discs, Ground Zero Texas. Which again, a lot of those were just more like interactive movies. I mean, that's kind of like you play the one, and then once you beat it.
But what's funny is like you could hit play to watch the video. But you know what you could do? You could go on YouTube, look up a video of Night Trap, and click play and watch the video.
Yeah. No, but it's just kind of like a neat like little like gimmick. Like if you want, which is kind of one of the.
Yeah, that was just it's funny. The reason I bought that is because I thought Limited Run Games put that out on April 1st one year. And I was like, that's funny. They did an April Fool's joke. I was like, I wonder what happens if I click buy now. And I click buy now. It's like, are they actually going to let me buy this? So I bought it. It's like, really?
Gotcha.
And it took like over a year, but I got it. It's like, okay, now I have Night Trap video on Game Boy Advance.
Yay. Yep. But yeah, no, I'm just excited. What's after the hour mark? But yeah, no, I'm just excited for the mod retro and to stream like Game Boy games and to play.
Philips CDI, like the Flowers of Robert Mapplethorpe.
No, dude, we don't want that. Of course, it'd be weird like if that like Tetris collection came to Evercade, but games aren't easy to find. Yeah, I know. Sadly. Cartoon Laserdisc games, super dumb. No, Super Don Quicks.
Super
So,
Don
yeah.
Quixote. It's Super Don Quixote.
Oh. No, but I think my first experience with those kind of games was kind of like at school, and I think maybe like a lot of people's school, like maybe like the science teacher or the computer, like they would get like a CD-ROM. I don't know the name of the game, but it was more like a mystery, and like you were by this beach and you had to click on different people and get clues, and it was kind of educational. So I don't know. And then the Curse of Monkey Island or whatever.
I remember seeing. I never saw the original Dragon Slayer in arcade, but I remember being blown away and really confused when I saw Dragon Slayer 2 in Aladdin's Castle. It's like, what is this? It's a cartoon.
Dude, the memories that I have of that were like, God, I was like really young and at some like day camp or something. And I don't know if we were just walking through them all or going through something, but then you saw like the big sign and people were there and we all had like 50
Yeah,
cents.
and they also had the monitor above too, where people could watch. Yeah,
it's like die in 2 seconds and all. And a very, very like cool concept for its for its time and all that. But yeah, that would be cool. Like a Dragon's. I mean, you can get that. I'd be fine with that. Like a dual cart, both collections. That would be kind of cool. A lot of obscure publishers. Yes, yeah. Ben Presto. Kind of like how the Pico 4 and the Jailco, however the hell you say.
No, like Ban Presto's kind of known as a garbage publisher.
Oh,
because they put out a lot of licensed games, in Japan.
Good look at your dentist appointment. I hate the dentist. Who doesn't like? No one says, "I like going to the dentist," even if it's a teeth cleaning, because they'll be like, "Yeah, number 52, number 34, you're having a slight cavity." I'm like, "Really? Can it wait till next time?" Yes. Okay.
I started going to my old dentist retired, and I started going to a new dentist, and I was blown away because you sit down in the dentist chair and there's like a television in front of you, and they're like you're watching Netflix, and then when he leans you back. He leaned me back in the chair. There's a television on the ceiling for me to watch.
Yeah.
I
like they just like angle it.
I was like, wow, is this what they're doing at dental offices these days?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that's been a thing.
Like all I had at my old dentist was the radio, AM radio to listen to.
Dude. Was that like an old like mom and pop shop?
The dentist office is a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
I guess it was a dental office.
Yeah, I like a dentist where office where like there's more than one dentist where there's quite a few
it was
people.
Just the one dentist. My dentist that was my dentist since I was a kid, so I always went to him. Then he retired, and I need to find a new place to go.
Oh yeah, I get that. Ooh, Irem too. Like, dude, I'm surprised we didn't see that this year. If they already had that relationship, that would be cool. Irem arcade. I even would welcome a red cart with that just for Metal Storm, because there's no other way that I could play that. But actually, that would be something. Maybe I'll do Metal Storm tonight on stream. That game is like freaking amazing.
Wait, Metal Storm on the Jalico?
No, Metal Storm by Irem on Nintendo. Like that game is.
Oh,
amazing.
Okay, that one. The one that it's funny. What was the one on with the Jalico one? That was Metal Mech.
Oh yeah, that game was horrible. But yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, it was horrible. But what's funny was I was thinking Metal Mech, and I was thinking of Metal Storm.
Oh,
when I played it, I was like, "Oh, this isn't the game I thought it was."
Yeah, that was Pico. That was Pico because I don't think Jalico would touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No, well, here's the thing: is Jalico games, the Jalico collections, those are actually Pico carts because Pico owns Jalico stuff. They just Jalico.
Okay.
But Metal Mech was a Jalico game when it was on the NES.
Dude, that would be because there's the original Golden Axe, and then there's the Golden Axe Death Adder. There's a third Golden Axe arcade?
Yes, there's a third Golden Axe arcade. I remember Arcade 1-Up put out a Golden Axe 3. It was very rare, but they put it out with what was the subtitle on that one?
Because I know because Golden Axe 2 is exclusive to Genesis, like the console port. Now I'm curious.
Oh wait! For this Sega CD, the reason that is so rare, the Genesis version, is because it was only released through the Sega channel.
Golden Axe arcade games. Yeah, because I thought there was only. I could be wrong, but I thought there was only like two. There was only two. Not GameStop. Good Lord. See, the main series is Golden Axe, Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe Revenge of the Death Adder, Golden Axe 3D. Yeah, but like for the arcade, I thought there was only two. I thought there was only like two arcade. Unless he's saying trilogy, meaning the one for.
What is? Why am I having a hard time finding like the games in the Golden Axe series?
Yeah, I know. I found like there's like a Sega wiki. The main like these damn advertisements. The main series, Golden Axe, blah blah blah. Golden Axe 2. Yeah, it was which is a Mega Drive exclusive. I know that. Revenge of Death Adder.
I swear there was
There's Golden Axe. It says released the Revenge of Death Adder Golden Axe Mega. Yeah, there's Golden Axe 3, but that was still only on Genesis, not in the. Then there's Beast Rider, Sega issued. Oh, and Xbox. Yeah, there's only two actual arcade games. Sorry, maybe I was nitpicking for trilogy.
Can't I? Come on.
But to your point, Jason, like having just if they just had like a Golden Axe like collection and just had like Golden Axe 1.
Okay, no, yeah, I thought it was Golden Axe 3, but there is a second Golden Axe arcade game.
Yeah, but it was Japan. It was like, I think maybe a Japanese and maybe Europe exclusive, but there's only two arcade games. And that's the original Golden Axe and Golden Axe of Death Adder, and then Golden Axe
the Revenge of Death Adder. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then Golden Axe 2 was exclusively for Genesis, and then you could also play Golden Axe 1 on Genesis. Yeah,
but I think Golden Axe 3 was only available here through the Sega channel.
Golden Axe the Duel. Yeah, that was the second one. Yeah, you could have been right. It could have been that. Yeah, but dude, if they did like the arcade version of Golden Axe, the arcade version of Golden Axe 2, and then like had like the Genesis ports of like 1, 2, and 3, I would be happy with that. Or even just like 2 and 3, I would be happy because maybe you don't need the Genesis port of the already arcade one. Like that would be awesome. And they could if Sega decided to license. They could. And then if they did that, that would be the first time you could have Golden Axe Death Adder exclusively on a cart. I mean, I know that you had it on home with the Sega console, but that would be awesome. I would totally. Ooh, how did I miss this? Yes, Angelico Arcade 2. I'm shocked we didn't get City Connection. Yeah, we need really we should have that.
I mean, the arcade version? They probably didn't put it on there because they gave us the NES version.
Yeah, give us the inferior version so they're like, screw you guys. Tetris Plus, oh my god, yes, like that. Trying to see what else I recognize.
I don't know about that one. That was I don't know if there was an arcade version of that, but I know the PlayStation version I didn't really like that much.
Yeah, I know that's like Rich's favorite version, but no, it's kind of cool. And also, I don't like on Game Boy Color and all that. But yeah, you got to balance them at work. No, appreciate you joining us. But no, I think we do got to wind down. I gotta eat before I go out. If I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna be too hungry. So I think we can go ahead and wind down. You got anything going on next week that you want to plug real quick, Crow, before we go?
Well, I do have a video. I put out a video yesterday for Terraforming Mars. I now have another video for another Pinball Fix game, but I need to edit it. I haven't even touched it yet. I'm working on a video about the controller I built. And other than that, I haven't even touched Evercade. Last week, I haven't touched it in the last couple of weeks, to be honest.
Very cool.
And now I'm obsessed with the Evil Dead pinball machine.
I was going to say, every time when I go on Steam, I see that you have, like, Vampire Survivors.
Oh, well, you know what's funny is I was trying to unlock all the characters in that DLC expansion, and then I went back to the adventures, and I wind up playing it a lot on the Steam Deck.
Nice. Yeah, I got to go back and do that too. Well, tonight at 9 p.m. Central, I'll be going live playing my usual all kinds of stuff, and then I have no idea what I'm going to do next week. All I will say is that I am going to have a special thanks. There's like a special thank you Thanksgiving video from my channel members, and then I'll have that monthly video as well. And we'll see. I think people will like it. But yeah, I guess we can go ahead and call it here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We should be here next week. And bye-bye. Thanks, Crash Line, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Ember Cummings, Joe Whitlash.